PM versus vendor. Team play for success.
I'm Gabriela and I have been a certified bilingual translator English to French and Romanian since 2010. I consider myself a beyond words vendor and I love being close to my PMs.
I'm Lucia Gutierrez, a localization project manager with almost 10 years of experience. I have worked in many different LSPs with many different hats, but always focusing on project management, as it is the job I enjoy the most.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Gabriela. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Lucia. We are back for another episode, and today we are going to talk about something I think it's important to highlight in our work communications between vendors and PMs. So let's see.
Yeah, and I think also PMs with clients and basically everyone. I think it's an important topic for everyone in the industry. And the topic is deadlines. We're going to talk about deadlines, about how urgent some projects are, and if they are really urgent or just important. So yeah, let's dig in.
Exactly. And as you are used to, we are going to give some perspectives from both the PM and the vendor side. So let's start with vendors. We receive a lot of urgent emails from PMs both from the LSPs, but also PMs from direct clients. So what does that urgency really mean? Is that really something that we really do as soon as possible, or it's just because the PM or from both sides, as I said, even from LSPs or direct clients, really need that, or they just want to put the urgent label? So I thought about that as a vendor, and it's true that with time, with experience, with a certain PM, with a certain client, we know what the urgent word really means, because I think it can really mean a lot of things. And I accommodate. If it's, for example, a certified translation request, yeah, that's urgent, because I also, as a person, I needed certified translation one point in my life, so I know that that's urgent. If it's from a marketing campaign, I can ask, is it due really today? Because in general, marketing campaigns are really written 3-4 months before Christmas. I'm doing Christmas stuff right now, yeah. And for example, if it's a request from a researcher, I will always ask, please send me the deadline submission from the journal. And we also spoke before this episode. For example, if the deadline is on September 30, I will ask for the deadline. So what does urgent mean? For me,
that's a really important thing to understand, because sometimes as a PM, you want to have things earlier than what you needed, just in case vendors are late. And this is a strategy that we have. So if I need a file by Wednesday, I ask for the file or by Tuesday, because I want to give myself one day, just in case the translator or the vendor tells me, oh no, I need 2 more hours, or I need, I don't know, my daughter got sick, I need 1 more day. Things like that can happen. So sometimes when we say urgent, it's not really that urgent. However, there is a problem, and I think it's important for you, Gabby, and for vendors overall to understand where you are, in which part of the process you are. Because, for example, if you are the last step, if you are the reviewer, for example, and you are the last step, if you're late, it doesn't matter that much. Well, it does matter, don't get me wrong, but it's not as important. However, if you're the translator and then after you've got a reviewer, and then after you've got, I don't know, a DTPer, then if you're late, the whole process gets delayed. So that's also important for vendors to understand.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. So here's the question. I think you are used to my questions. For example, when you work with someone that you have been working for years, do you really highlight the urgent need, or that's okay? For example, you really need to put the word urgent in an email with a vendor you have been working for years, or you can just send a normal request and they that they will have it before the deadline.
Well, I don't like but this is me, this is Lucia. I don't like putting the word urgent if it's not really urgent. Because I always say, like, okay, I received 3 urgent requests. When you have everything urgent, then the word urgent stops having any meaning. Because when you have 3 urgent requests, okay, everything is urgent. So you still need to prioritize. So you treat everything as normal. Because urgent is your new normal.
Okay.
So I only put the word urgent if it's really, really, really urgent, meaning on the same day or for the day after, or if the quantity is really big and there is like not a lot of time. But I barely use the word urgent, to be honest.
I was asking that because I had a colleague. She has been working with an LSP for years now, and in all their emails they are using the word urgent. And she was telling me that she feels like the PM thinks that she's lazy or something, but she has always delivered before the deadline and everything, but they are still using the word urgent in all their requests. I don't know if a strategy, really, I don't know. So I think that when a vendor says no to a request, is not a sin of laziness, and maybe we should, as you said, use the word urgent when it's urgent.
Exactly. And that's something that I always discussed with both clients and line managers. Because when you have everything urgent, then it doesn't make any sense. But it's also true that not all the deadlines are urgent and not all the deadlines are hard deadlines. So let me tell you one secret. Most of the deadlines are negotiable. Most of them.
I have to highlight this. We need to highlight that in the presentation of this episode. You see, you,
Because,
yeah.
yeah, if you really want one person to do a job, you are willing to wait. If you really trust that person, you're willing to wait. And if you are asking for the translation earlier because you want to impress your client, for example, and the vendor is asking you for an extension, most likely you're going to be able to give that extension. If you want, I don't know, project managers, we are control freaks. So since we are control freaks, it's nice if we have things in advance. But the reality is that if you ask me, most of the time I'm going to be able to give you an extension. And this is another thing that it took me years to understand, but I remember I had a colleague that always used to tell me, like, Lucia, if you deliver late, what's going to happen? Is anyone going to die? And my answer was always no. So she was saying, like, okay, so don't stress out too much. You can wait a couple of hours. That's not an issue. That's how I learned also that most of the deadlines are negotiable.
Yeah, I totally understand. You know what? I also read and I also wrote about that sometimes the word urgent is something with a negative connotation, for example, and sometimes even it kills quality. Uh, I also feel it sometimes, but I understand it in other times. So in my experience as a vendor, okay, especially for certified transition, it happens a lot. For me, in my case, the word urgent is related to more to certified transition and maybe sometimes research, scientific providing for researchers. When you have that urgent word in a lot of requests, because I'm doing a lot of certified translations, and you don't want to kill the quality, maybe you should prepare yourself. Okay. So, for example, if you are working in a niche where you know that you have the word urgent in a lot of emails, prepare yourself. That's my advice for my colleagues. Prepare yourself, create templates, create. I don't know if you're working with an LSPs and you know that they are sending requests every week. Maybe you should put, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours every week for those urgent requests. I don't know. Is this something that is logical from your point of view as a PM? Do you think that we can prepare for the urgencies?
Yeah, yeah, you can prepare. It's true that you cannot blame the PM if you are waiting or if you spare 2 hours of your week to do something that never arrived, because it's something that we can't get liable of. But it would be wise at least to have, and I imagine you should have like some templates or things like that that help you get started for some common requests that you might get, no?
Yes, yes. But I told you, with experience, you will learn some things that unfortunately you won't know about them without the experience, or maybe if you're not listening to our podcast, because we are also giving some tips for those that are less experienced. But you will learn, and you have to learn from everything. And in our case, the urgencies or the urgent deadlines or urgent requests are an important thing that you can learn from. I think maybe regarding to planning, you can tell us more about that because you do a lot of planning as a PM. I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. For example, the way we calculate, well, I say we as if I could speak for every PM in the world, but at least the PMs that I've met and that I've worked with, we calculate deadlines based on words, really. We don't really, we cannot read the whole thing. Like I have to say, I have to confess, when I send out a project, most of the time I haven't read it. I just screened through it, look through it, not thoroughly, just a little bit, and then I estimate. Okay, you can translate 2,500 words a day. That's my rate for translation. If the text is a little bit more complex, or if there are like character limitations, then I estimate 2,000 words a day. And then on top of that, I give you some buffer. Because, for example, if I have 5,000 words, I wouldn't give you 2 days. I would give you a little bit more. Because in the same way that I need some buffers, you also need some buffers. You are not robots. So you need some time to prepare. You also have your own life. So you need to find the time to do it. And that might not be immediate. So that's how PMs normally estimate deadlines. Sometimes you just say like, okay, 2 days because I need it now, or I need it in 2 days because I promised the client to send it in 2 days. Because sometimes it's not us, the ones who set the deadline, not the client, but the sales team.
So we have to see beyond the PM sometimes to understand the word they are choosing in their emails. Yeah.
Yes, because sometimes it's the sales team that they want to get a big deal or they want to get a new client. So they promise some projects earlier because they want to win it.
Okay. So to finish, I will finish this this episode with one question for you, Lucia. Is this I don't know, this approach to use the word urgent in emails for some PMs? You told us that you don't usually use it if it's not really necessary, but some PMs are using it a lot. Is this related to the ghosting phenomenon, for example? Do you think they are doing that because they notice that there are some vendors that are not reliable? We are honest in this podcast, so we are trying.
No, I think it's not because of the ghosting phenomenon, but because of vendors being late. There are
Okay.
a lot of vendors, more than you would imagine, that they are delivering late. They are delivering, like, I don't know, if you ask for something at 5 p.m. and I leave the office at 6, I'm giving you all the time I can because then I've got only 1 hour to deliver the job before I leave the office. If you deliver at 6 p.m., you're screwing me. Sorry for my language, but that's a fact. It's a fact.
Yeah. And
So I
maybe
think that's the thing. more than ghosting. I think it's more people delivering late.
And you said 6 p.m., but your 6 p.m. is my 5 p.m. And we talked about that in an earlier episode about time differences, and 1 hour it can make a difference in an urgent request. No,
Exactly.
I-
Yeah.
I think we seen it. It's the word urgent. It holds a lot of power, but also maybe has a negative connotations. So maybe next time we see it, we see beyond it, or maybe next time as a PM when they use it, maybe see if we really need to use it. I don't know. That's for me.
Yes, I think a powerful word that we need to use with caution. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think urgent requests are always urgent or not really? Have you had any experience that you would like to share with us? Just let us know in the comments.
Exactly. Thank you, and till next time. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
What you've heard are just our personal opinions. We by no means intend to impose our personal views on anyone. Feel free to disagree, throw tomatoes at us, or just drop a comment to let us know. Thank you!